G'day, this is Captain Noob and this is the Mauser Pistol. So this thing here is a high quality, highly customizable pistol weapon which you can get for Fallout 4 in its standalone mod form. So this thing here, if you recognize it from previous games in the franchise, namely Fallout 3, you know that this is the Chinese pistol. It is modeled after a real world Mauser. I won't get into the weapon history there, but you can look it up if you're interested. Alright, so getting into the attachments here, this thing has a wide variety of attachments which basically mirrors what the 10mm pistol can give, which is good because they're sort of on the same level. Although in Fallout 3, the thing would be obsoleted by the 10mm pistol you get at the start, so you wouldn't get much use out of this thing. Advanced receiver goes on it because I wanted this thing to be semi-auto. Now for the barrels, you get a bit less customization. You just get a short one or a heavy barrel into that, and that'll improve your accuracy just a little bit at the expense of additional weight, but that's fine. Next up, for the grip, we've got the standard, comfort, and sharpshooters. We'll go ahead and chuck the sharpshooters on, and you can probably notice that this thing is looking a little bit like a sci-fi weapon that is iconic in and of itself, and yeah, this is what it's obviously based on. Next up, for the magazine of this thing, which is actually sort of the things that sets it apart from the real world Mauser, you can see that this thing takes magazines, and I think I'll chuck in the medium quick eject mag because there's no reason why you wouldn't want to have as much ammo capacity you get in a quick eject mag there. Next up, for the sights here, we've got the choice between a circle sight and a bunch of scopes here. A recon scope that looks like a basic scope, that's kind of weird, but the night vision scope there's got a little bit more to it, but that's kind of overkill for a pistol weapon, so might as well chuck on the circle sights, considering that the regular sights on this weapon are quite nasty anyway. Next up, we've got the muzzle attachments. Of course, you've got a muzzle brake here, and a suppressor. We'll go ahead and chuck the suppressor on. That is a no-brainer. That'll give us better damage, better stealth, the works. And you've also got a legendary effect here if you wanted this to be a little bit more special by killing your enemies, blah blah blah. Anyway, that's the Mauser we'll be taking into Gunner's Plaza. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our little Mauser pistol. Now, if you probably noticed from the thumbnail and the little weapon preview of this video, we're not using the usual girl today, and this is Winter, so everybody give a warm welcome to her, I suppose, whatever. Basically, if you're watching my series on One Hit Wonder playthrough, you know what she's all about, but I'll go ahead and use her today. Anyway, so getting into the Mauser here, you can see that the sight, the ring sight, doesn't quite line up properly. And I believe it is just ported from a combat shotgun, so that's interesting. But as you can tell there, this thing sounds exactly like a 10mm pistol, which is a little bit yeah, that's fine. I can see why it would. And those turrets are really starting to annoy me, so I'm just going to go into here and there. So basically, one of the things that made me want to download this weapon mod and try it out is that Wardaddy, as you can tell probably from the text on the screen just a few seconds back, he actually made some animations for this weapon, and they're really cool. So this mod's been out for quite a while, but seeing this new animations being added to it just breathes a lot of new life into it, so yeah, it's good. Now, in terms of performance, I'm getting a lot of 10mm pistol vibe. I probably said this before, but yeah, this thing is going to be relatively on par to that. And if it's like its Fallout 3 counterpart, it'll actually perform a little bit less, yeah, a little bit less good than the standard 10mm pistol. So we'll just peek around here and shoot this turret, and there he goes. So that reload animation is really slick, and it actually alters depending on which mags you pick. She sort of shoves her hand right into it, or right sort of along the bottom of the thing when you get the small mag, but not with that one. Not with the medium mag, because obviously that would create a lot of clipping. So the Wardaddy has made it a lot of attention to detail in these animations, which are good. Now, in terms of ammo capacity, 20 rounds. Obviously, it's inferior to the 10mm in the game, but it's not too bad. Using the suppressor here, we'll just go ahead and take out as many of these dudes as we can. We're getting a little bit of a damage penalty from being, I think, a little bit of out of range, but since this thing is nice and silent, I'll have no problems taking out these gunners nice and easily, even though I'm blatantly in sight. Although I do have a bunch of shadowed stuff on me, so that's probably contributing to this stealthy madness right now. Alright, we'll go ahead and shoot this gunner over here. Nope, he's got a gamma gun on him. Okay, let's take him out nice and quickly. And look at these bullets coming around. Alright, now that we are detected, you know what, it's time for a good old VATS run. So let's see what this thing can do. And if you can barely see what action point this thing uses up, know this. I'll get all of my shots off and have enough space for even more, because VATS actually caps out. If you've used to deliver it, have high agility, your basic stealth builds, you'll know that you've got a sort of limit to what your you can do in VATS, which is kind of interesting. Alright, he's dead. Now, what I want to call attention to is the sprinting animation here, and players of Battlefield 1 will probably find this animation very familiar, so it's actually really cool. And of course, you're handling the gun with one hand in first person, but in third, it's just the basic 10mm animations, which is good. And we can even test that later if I can actually remember to do that later on, so I'll just make a mental note of that. We'll keep on killing these gunners with heaps of stealth, and you know what? Let's throw a few crits into the mix and see what we can do with that. Awesome. One shot at her with a crit to the face, and you can go down too. So, can take down very high level gunners if you've got all the planets aligned and the sneak attack critical and the VATS executed critical at the same time. So, while it's probably on par with what 10mm pistols are already in the game, this thing performs very well in Gunner's Plaza if you've got it set up for stealthing. Alright, now to test whether this thing has got vanilla animations. It most certainly does, so there you go. Anyway, that's enough for that, and we've fallen down, whatever. We'll go ahead and move on to Swan now. Right, so there's Swan over there fighting some Rust Devils. I've actually had that random encounter come up so often lately, so that's interesting. We'll go ahead and take him out like this, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do. Obviously, we're not getting a lot of sneak attack criticals on him because he's occupied with a couple of Rust Devils, but I think it's all clear, so I believe we're good to just shoot him. But now he's running right up to us, so we'll just try to hide and sneak in this train carriage. But when he turns his back, we might as well go ahead and shoot him, and for some reason he's not detecting me. But with that, you get a good idea of what this thing can actually sort of do when you've got all the things going for you. With a lot of sneak attack criticals, you can get this thing to do very good damage, even though it is firing 10mm rounds, which are absolutely tiny and very, just small and shouldn't be doing as much damage as this. There you go. So we'll go ahead and just crit him a couple of times just to do the VATS, and you can see there that the damage is actually quite good, although we're still getting damage augmented by sneak attack criticals. There's not much really else I could possibly say about this thing, except I just gotta keep on sneak attack critting Swan until he's dead. And basically that's I just said basically twice, good on me. Yeah, basically that's just how all weapons sort of work when it comes to this. Anything of vanilla power you've really got to bring out up and beyond with sneak attack criticals in order to actually kill Swan like this. So if you've got, you can theoretically kill him with a basic pipe pistol with a standard receiver with this, but, with a suppressor, but that would take ages, and I'm not doing that. So in terms of performance, we looked at the Halo Magnum yesterday, and I'm already liking this thing better. Not just because it's sort of more lore friendly, but this thing actually does good damage, isn't getting me detected with its big old loud shots that it does, so that's good. Although, for balancing purposes, you might actually want to look and make this thing a little bit louder as you shoot it, because that was bloody ridiculous. He never knew what even hit him, so Swan got killed by Winter and he bloody doesn't even know. For all we know, it could have been the regular chick. But anyway, let's go ahead and chuck an automatic receiver on this and maybe a scope and move on to the next one. Righto, there's a pack of mean old bears over there. We've got this thing outfitted with a suppressor, of course, a scope and a automatic receiver. So let's see how we do. And wow, that is really siege reducing. It just, okay, maybe I shouldn't use a scope on this thing. But there we go, we're fighting this bear now, and unfortunately, without all these sneak attack criticals, this thing isn't quite the gun it was against Swan. So we'll just hop down here for a second and take full damage, because I haven't set up this one quite as good as I do the regular chick. We'll go ahead and see if we can take out these bears here. So obviously this thing, it's still making the advanced receiver noises, which is not what the 10mm pistol does at all. It actually makes different noises depending on what firing modes it has, and you're definitely stuck, Yao Guai, and you're getting staggered by 10mm bullets. And wow, these dudes are really trying to get me today, but I think you're in a spot where you can't possibly come up from. So if I could just kill you, that would be good. And you know what? I think this thing now screams for the Furious effect on it because I don't feel like the damage is going to be that good. But we'll try and kill these dudes nonetheless. Anyway, what have we got over here? Let's see if we can just lure a few of them back here. That ancient Commonwealth bear, I believe, is stuck where he is, so that's good enough for him. No, nope, he got out, he got out. All hell's gone, breaking loose and shit. Anyway, we'll quickly jump off here and hopefully not break our legs. Nah, we're right, mate. And yeah, I think he might have gotten himself stuck there again. Oh wait, he's actually crossed the bridge. He can cross the bridge? Okay. Anyway, with him more or less out of the way for now, I think it's time we go ahead and kill the rest of his bear mates. So the rabbit, he'll go down. Albino, he should go down a little bit quicker. I think he's a little bit quicker. I'm not actually too flush on my tiers of Yaguai. I know that the Duskies are top tier because they scale to your level all the time. So these guys you got to worry about. And you know what? We'll go ahead and just do a little bit of a VATS run on him. And even though this thing's got a scope on it, it's actually doing quite well. And luckily we can get a quicker reload and VATS because I don't want to be sitting here for any longer than that. So what have we got over there? Just, bear in that direction. How did you get there? Anyway, we'll go ahead and kill him. We've got a good shot. And we're in caution somehow, so that means we're able to get sneak attack criticals on him. And now he's dead. Now the only thing that stands between me and victory is this giant bear, which normally, under normal circumstances, I'd bring out a big old Gauss rifle or some sort of Gatling laser to kill, but I don't have that luxury here. I think the Mauser, however, will do just fine. We'll just quickly... No, okay, it's detected me again. We'll slip down here and see if we can get out of his detection range again. Maybe we'll shoot him in the bum. Oh, we didn't like that. Alright, fading out of danger. Can we nail him with a penetrator perk? No, we can't. It's a little bit too far off, and you know what? These raiders have got a good little spot that I want to take. That I just want to use to kill this bear over here. Nope, he's going to run over there. So that raider didn't really have to die, but it happened, and you all let it happen. So we'll go ahead and just keep on shooting him. Okay, I think this thing really needs Furious. I'm gonna be right back, okay, bear? Just let me get a Furious one, alright? Alright, now she's furious. Let's see how this big old bear likes this angry Mauser now. So for some reason we're fading out of danger super quickly, which is nice. And let's get stuck into him once more over here. And those sneak attack criticals will probably help us get even more damage on him. But to guarantee these hits, bugger, this raider here is going to mess it up. He gets a crit. And you know what? You're going to get lots of crits to your face. We'll just use a little bit of VATS magic here just to get heaps and heaps of damage stacking on him. And that's an interesting camera view, VATS. Do you care to zoom out? Nope. It's just going to clip straight through her again. Fine. VATS camera does what it wants, I guess. One more crit. And we'll go ahead and let the rest of them play out before we'll try to chase him down and kill him like that. Alright, there we go. And as nauseating as this is, the scope is actually doing pretty good in helping us keep track of this target. Of course, the recon scope there makes it super easy to keep track of targets because they've got that big old diamond there, which is like a 3D spotting. You're not getting away, mate. Wow, you're actually out of range of that. Say, come back here, you arsehole. Alright, let's just fill in with more 10mm bullets, quickly reload. One of the things I've noticed about this weapon is it doesn't reload on its own sometimes. You have to exit out of the scope before it goes ahead and reloads. Maybe that's just a scopes thing, but that's kind of annoying. Alright, now the fight's on. We'll just go ahead and hit him with VATS heaps times. Hopefully we don't miss too much, so we don't get that damage resetting. But I feel like we're doing a good job with this. Quickly shoot him, and he'll miss. Get a reload in, and keep on shooting him, and that's one very dead bear. Righto, so I think that is about it for this particular weapon. If you'd like to see this thing in your game, be sure to check out the description. This mod's been around for ages, so you should probably find it on Xbox One as well as PC these days. And if you want to see more of this Chiquito right here, go ahead and check out my One Hit Wonder series of Fallout 4. Yeah, it's not easy being winter over here, I'll tell you that much. Thank you for watching, guys.